Okay, when I started, I said one of the themes was going to be home. And that right now we're in a place called home. And that home, this place, this particular place, has given home to people. It's given validation to people. It's gotten people to read. It's a meeting place for people. And so this is a very special place and a very special home. But home is always home. And so when you're told to get out of the ghetto, that means there's something wrong with home. And if that isn't reconciled, then something schizophrenic takes over. And as I've been reading the book, we're looking at different kinds of traumas. And when you're going to play basketball and you have girls all over the place and you're on TV and things are going well and you're in an alien world, but nobody is talking to you about that world or how to deal with that world, it can get to be very confusing, especially when that world drops and when you cannot, nobody helps you to deal with the traumas that you have had to deal with, or the traumas that you may be dealing with them, or the fact that you may be someone that people know through the newspapers and that they can say whatever they want about you, or they pay you nothing and they pay the coach millions. And I'm talking right from the media, and the coach can say whatever they want about you, whatever lies that they want to say. And you have no recourse, but media is not paying you. So this is some of the dynamics, but also in this room here, we have the Fatahs that had ended gang war in the 70s, and are experts on how to transform this idea of trauma, how to transform not only a white education, but a white education that is incomplete, and a white education which denigrates a black education, which becomes very, very problematic. So when they changed their name to Fatah, when they started looking at things differently, when they set up a place, a free zone, all of a sudden people stopped fighting and people started to deal with their traumas. You know, when you're fighting somebody punches you, somebody shoots you, somebody stabs you, your first instinct is to hit them back. And you live with that instinct. And so that's the first thing that needs to be dealt with, and that's what over a 40-year period the House of Umoja has been doing. And there was just a fundraiser last night with Hassan, who runs a camp, and he was talking about this idea of trauma and that young people need to get away simply to relax and to deal with these different things. I'm going to move quickly through the book now, not to give the whole thing away. But Kishon's becomes very confident, very successful. Throughout his life, he was able to deal with any place and then come back home. He played basketball in Europe, China. Then he came back to New York, made a lot of money, not a lot of money, but a lot of money in the finance industry. And then when that went bust, he called me up and he said, "Steve, I'm going back to be a history teacher. I'm going back to where we started," which he had never thought of that. But the amazing thing is the way him and some of the other students are with their children, and the way that they have helped their children navigate different things. Another major character, whose name is Magic, was not as lucky as Kishon. And he, you know, those who have studied African culture, African history, understand the idea of simply being. This idea that the intellect is the whore of intelligence, and that sometimes when we just use our subconscious, when we use our unconscious, that can propel us. And so this individual was a kind of person that really could not be coached, because when it was at the end of the game, he would throw that three-point shot up, and every time it would go in. And it was embarrassing to the coach, because the coach didn't get credit. It was Magic who was on ESPN over and over and over again. And so he became a target to be destroyed. Whereas Giles was warning Kashawn about being destroyed, Kashawn was lucky. He got the tools and he never was destroyed. Magic, on the other hand, had a lot of those tools, but he became a real target. We are out to get you. Because he was taking away what Coach was trying to build, which was his reputation as a great coach. And the unfortunate thing is Coach was a great coach. So he undermined himself with the things that he did to Magic. And the exact same thing that is happening in the news now at North Carolina, where they're trying to dummy down African American studies, take the African American studies classes and we'll have tutors write papers for you as if African American studies is nothing. And I made the point earlier on when a lot of people weren't here that that is worse than sports exploitation, because that gets to the heart of intellectual dishonesty and it gets to the heart of racism. And that's something that I hope that this book illustrates it. I saw the way it worked. As I told the people before, I'm from Philly and we're not intimidated by gangsters. I did not realize when I took the job that I was working for gangsters. So I had something to say about it, and I have something to say about it in the book.
Deputy Dan's band. We were into the club, and Deputy Dan's band banged on the tambourines, metallic rings and bells from their nose while standing in rainwater. It was suddenly cold when the air conditioner broke and the wise man wrote that day. Those who could not sing revealed themselves of clothes, holding items in their unseen places, stepped in something in the back room. It was all too soon when Veronica Secret stepped on stage to measure breasts, and the rest, it was hot. The place had no air to continue this affair, so my neighbor put underwear on his head and had a heart attack and fell dead, and the concert was on. After they took him out, covered in sheets, they had him in there real neat. There was no place for me to go. He had to leave alone. Deputy Dan had ran while eating his guitar. His face told his age. He ducked out backstage, but the police, Sam, he said I am, got him and told him to get dressed and get back out there. And be their hippie as long as they could play rippity with the girls. And bring those ladies who have the high heels. They are really what I want to feel. The crowd started yelling his name.
So let's give Sakai a nice round of applause.
My name is Michelle Beckham. I'm the vocalist for this evening, and on piano is Azell Dixon. From being close together from the start, see that we tried to talk it over, but words kept getting in the way. We lost inside this lonely game we play. Thoughts of leave and disappear every time I see your face. No matter how hard I keep trying to understand those reasons that we carry on this way. We lost in the masquerade. masquerade, masquerade, masquerade.
And I'll read one more section. And this is the confrontation. How you doing? Between tutor and coach. Kashawn came into the office looking like he'd been through a war, sweating and his heart beating like mad. Magic was the only one there. What happened? Magic asked. I saw something I couldn't believe. I'm out of breath, he said, wiping sweat from his face. Coach was at the baseball game, sitting in the stands. I was standing nearby, just watching on the side. Tutor came up to him and said he needed to talk. Coach said, follow me to my car. I sort of followed them so I could hear. Tutor said, I need access to the players like we said for my program. Did you tell Jake not to come to study hall? Coach demanded. That's not my style, Tutor said. Did you tell the athletic director that we don't care about the players? No, I told him that we did care about the players, and that's why we were successful. I told him that if we want to continue to be successful, we need to continue to care about the players. I think you did tell Jake not to come to study hall. You can finish with the players this year and then stay the fuck away. Kashawn continued. Coach's red car was parked on the grass. He walked over to it and ducked inside. Tutor followed. You know Tutor isn't going to take that from anybody. Tutor will come at you every which way and he'll give you room, but don't push him too far. Everybody knows not to push Tutor too far. He's easygoing really, but you know not to push him too far, Kashawn said. So what happened? Magic asked. Magic's heart was pounding. Kashawn said, Tutor said that wasn't our deal. I've seen Tutor anger, but I've never seen him lose control like I've seen Coach. Coach had that arrogant, sick look on his face. Tutor's eyes came together. I could see rage flare up in him. Coach, Tutor yelled, I'm standing here having a conversation with you and you just walk away. You better get out of the fucking car in the next 2 seconds or I'm going to pull you the fuck out in front of all of these people. Kashawn paused and then continued. I saw Tutor's hands going toward the open window. I swear to God, I saw his hands going right for Coach. I could see Tutor didn't care. I tried to yell his name. I wanted to run as fast as I could and knock him to the ground. Nothing came out of my mouth. I couldn't move. It was crazy. Then I saw Tutor grab Coach. He pulled him out of that car right through the window. He beat his face with his fist pounding away. Each swing coming faster than the last and blood pouring from everywhere. Then he pounded his head into the ground. The police came right away and Tutor was gone. Magic sat listening. He couldn't believe what he was hearing and felt his heart pounding. I swear to God I saw it in my mind, Kashawn said. In your mind? Magic yelled. Yeah, in my mind. What really happened? Coach saw it too. I watched it register on his face. I saw his eyes get big like he was shocked out of his arrogance. When I say Tutor's hands went up toward his face, I mean that literally. His hands were moving damn fast. Then what happened? Coach came flying out of the car yelling, I told you that you're the best educator I've seen in all my years of coaching. I told you that. It was like Coach was pleading. I never saw Coach like that. Tutor looked him in the eyes and shook his hand. There was no hatred in either of their faces. I watched Coach drive away, looking perplexed. Tutor usually has too much humor to get wrapped up, but not this time. I still think Tutor would have backed off, but who knows? Kashawn continued. This time Coach went too far. I saw a man get killed when I was a kid, Kashawn said. He said it real soft, like, and Magic could tell it spooked him, and it was still spooking him sometimes. It happened just like that, Kashawn went on. There was no turning back from it. This time was almost more horrifying, and it didn't happen. I'm damn glad it didn't too. Kashawn finished wiping sweat from his face and started to laugh. A nervous laugh that ran deep. Magic was thinking, I've never seen that part of Kashawn before. The fear I used to see in my grandfather about what can actually happen to you.
Yeah. Can you bring it that one? A third? I'll play the street life, 'cause that's the only life I know. Street life, that's the only place I go. Street life, there's 1,000 times to play. Street life, before you play your life away, you let the people see who you wanna be. Every night you shine just like a superstar. This half a life displaying a tinted masquerade. You are, you walk, you talk, you're who you think you are. Street life, you can't run away from time. Street life, for a nickel a dime. Hey, street life, you better not get old. Street life, or you're gonna feel the cold. There's always love for sale, a grown-up fairy tale. Prince Charming always smiles beneath the silver moon. The time of life displaying a tinted masquerade. You are, you walk, you talk, you're who you think you are. Oh, street life, street life, oh, street life, hey, street life. Street life, street life, nothing but street life in me. Street life, nothing but street life in me. street light, little bit of street light.
I could not do anything. They would not do anything. What could I do? Separate and break out? I was stuck in this neighborhood where we were safe and cozy. We heard them stone cold pounding the hell out of each other and killing people. And we were the only ones who did nothing. Mildred started getting herself footloose, slapping him right on top of the head. He lunged out to catch her, but she was so fast, crashed into Pete and Paul. When they collided into the stomach of Big Bertha, she took them all down, rolling onto the 76 East Highway. I could do nothing. Nothing at all. We looked on like trembling rocks.
Right off the Barnary sub-stop, Philadelphia, PA. Shot so loud you would think it was a club spot. African Americans, although we all over the web, we the hood librarians. We ship to prisons too. We reach out and deliver to those that's bitten too, but it's more than a bookstore. You want it, we got it. Mixtapes, DVDs, and culture products. Black and Nobel got our hands in a lot of projects. We welcome all to come build. The energy is positive. And remember, other teams is awake and conscious. Come through and experience this place of knowledge. They say they'll put it in a book if they wanna hide it from us, but we got them books so you can buy it from us. Something to read while you on a train or riding the bus. Get your read on, food for thought, get your eat on. Black and Nobel.